We're at the Grand Park Orchard here in Singapore with one of the best foreign players ever to play in the Barclays Premier League, Dwight Yorke. A pleasure to have you here, mate. This is In Focus. We're going to start at the beginning then. It was 17 where you were plucked from Trinidad to play for Aston Villa by Graham Taylor. It must have been a bit of a whirlwind for you. What were your first impressions?
Well, I have to say, I didn't thought that something like that would have happened coming from Trinidad and Tobago. Given the opportunity to come to England to pursue my dream, my boyhood dream as a kid, to become a professional footballer. So to be given that opportunity, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I was grateful for. And hopefully I can look back and think that I've made the right decision. It was an experience going to England, having left my family, all my friends, the culture, the people back home in the Caribbean, going into a bit of an unknown area of what professionalism is all about and certainly what professional football was require. But nevertheless, it was a challenging one that I really look forward to, dedicated most of my life to, and I'm lucky enough being rewarded at the end of it.
That time at Aston Villa was pretty iconic, wearing the number 17 shirt, banging in goals for fun. You became a Villa legend, but then Manchester United came calling, and that famous quote from John Gregory came out: "If I'd had a gun, I would have shot him," when you went into his office and said that you wanted to be for Manchester United. What do you remember about that time when Sir Alex came calling?
Yeah, I have to say, let me first say that my first 10 years being at Aston Villa was the right one for me. Going there and learning the trade of what professional, the dedication that I had to show, and the development in my football as well, and having the people that looked after me in the era of Birmingham. I was very lucky to have such a supportive support throughout the Aston Villa rank. But of course, after 9-10 years at Aston Villa, felt that I've done everything at that point in my career and needed to go up another level. And of course, when Manchester United came calling in Sir Alex Ferguson, it was an opportunity that I couldn't sort of turn away, and I felt this was the right move in terms of making that step up, giving me the opportunity to play in the Champions League and play against the best clubs and the best players in Europe. And Manchester United did provide me with those opportunities. So, and of course, the rest is there. The rest is history in many respects.
Yeah, it really didn't turn out too badly at all. It was a special time. But which moment for you, or which memories in particular, really made you sit back and go, "This is what it's all about"?
I think it's funny enough that people obviously talks about the treble winning, because Manchester United, as we know, over the years has gone on to win the Premier League in so many ways and forms. But the treble winning year is the one that everyone speaks about, the one that is the most historical moment in the club history of Manchester United. To play alongside those fantastic players, to play for such a great manager, to play at such a great moment with these players was obviously an iconic time in our career, and one that everyone is related to who has been involved. And to play such a small part in such a fantastic squad of players, one that I will always cherish and remember. But you know, it's funny enough that people don't remember that we went on to win 3 Premier League in a row, and that never seems to get mentioned. But and of course, because the treble is such an iconic situation, and of course, yeah, it is the best moment in my career. I went there to win things. I never thought for one moment in my first season that I will go on to really rubber stamped it in the first year of going on to win all 3. So, you know, when you look back and you look at those moments, it's really wonderful to be associated with those sort of memories. And as I said, a memory that I will always be very fond of, very happy to be part of, and a great moment in my career, and certainly those players who had also been involved in that treble-winning year.
I think one of the reasons perhaps people love it so much is they love a fairy tale in sport, in football. And that was the ultimate fairy tale, that final. There must have been a time where you thought, we can't do this, how can we come back, the clock's ticking?
Well, you said it there. I think it's a fairy tale, the fact that we had so many close calls. When you look throughout that treble-winning year, We were losing against Tottenham half time. The manager make a change in Andy Cole, and we managed to claw that back and won the game 2-1. I know, okay, the FA Cup was a bit of a, pretty much our easiest game against Newcastle, where we sort of, steamrolled them in the final of the FA Cup. And of course, then, you looked at the final against Bayern Munich. We were losing, as you said, but there was a certain belief. And if you look through how that season, we had always, back up against the wall. There was a never say die attitude within that rank of players. Certainly stemmed from the manager, the sort of belief that he had installed within that team.
So you were the first ever marquee player to play for Sydney FC in Australia. What attracted you to move down under?
I was pretty much struggling back in the UK. I was coming up to the grand old age of 34, 35, I think I was, and football wasn't the top of my priority as it used to be once I came to a very difficult time in my career. I was having one and two other issues off the pitch. I lost a member of my family that I took very difficult. And then I recognized football wasn't, all what I expected it to be. And it's been great up to that point, of course. And I felt that I needed a change. And of course, I'd been to Australia on a few occasions, one of the countries that I'm very fond of. The people have always been great there. And when the opportunity came along, I thought this might be the turning point, because as I said, I was going through a transitional period in my career. I actually looked at golf.
Really?
As another alternative. I went to see a golf coach and asked him if I, practiced and dedicated myself, if I could make the transition. And that's where I was. I was really in a real dark sort of place. And then I got the call. I went and played for Birmingham for, literally 3 months. I wasn't really enjoying it. I was such a regular playing on a week-to-week basis, and then I was not playing, and I wasn't playing, and I wasn't enjoying that side of football at all. And then, as I said, when the opportunity came to go to Australia and found out that I was going to be their marquee and they was going to, treat me like in a certain way, that this might be something that appeals to me. And lucky enough, I went there and I found my mojo back, so to speak. I found that mojo back. I find the real love for football. The city was vibrant. It's something that I needed to change. And it sort of worked out well for me.